Hey, we are back with Dom from NESPA. And Dom, what's going on in your neck of the woods today?
So thought I'd do a quick sort of rundown our four states here. Let us know, let everybody update the week, kind of where we're at, and pick up a conversation from there. And it's mostly good news relative to our industry being able to work and get things, keep their people employed if they want to. So in Connecticut, we said this earlier in the week. Connecticut is clear in their executive order, specifically mentions pool contractors, outdoor maintenance, including pool service, all skilled trades and general construction are considered essential. So our contractors in Connecticut are, should they choose to, and they obviously, as the caveat over all of this is, as long as they're following CDC guidelines and OSHA requirements, et cetera, they're able to work. New Jersey's in a very similar position. In addition to what is written into the executive order, we have email communication from the governor's office stating that outdoor services, including construction, are allowed to continue. I'll tell you that we've had a few people say that they did get stopped by a police officer or health official. No negative interactions. It's normally just an explanation of where they're going. We're telling everybody, keep a letter from your employer, have some of our paperwork with you that has some of the backup as far as the executive order. Keep it positive. We don't need a negative interaction with a government official, but for the most part, folks in New Jersey in construction service are being allowed to continue work. Looking at New York, this is actually new-ish. I was just able to share this with our members and our partners at PHGA this morning, that same thing there. A few of our members working closely with their local legislators were able to get clear guidance that pool construction and pool service is indeed, and we were operating that, we believe the interpretation of the executive order was positive for our industry, that they could continue to work. We actually got official guidance from the governor's office that is indeed the case. Again, they were very clear. Non-essentials have to work from home, and work sites have to be socially distant as much as possible, and everything we've been talking about. But at least we got some clear direction that folks in New York can continue to work. In all of those places, the suppliers to the essential businesses are allowed to operate. So distributors are open. There may be certain lines or certain modifications. I heard a few saying that, instead of 6 counter people, they have 3 and they've spread them out. A lot are doing curbside pickup to help facilitate, what they need to do. But good news is the Northeast, for the most part, is open for business.
Yeah, and I run a construction company here too, and most of our jobs are for big general contractors, and so everybody seems to be really kind of taking everything at heart, and the social distancing is actually really being enforced. It's a little bit of a challenge on job sites, and my teams, we've cut down our team size because we have to maintain the distances and everything. But fortunately, we're able to keep going, and I'm starting to see some real pushback throughout some of the communities online about people being out there and working. But the reality is that we've had tailgate meetings, we've had safety meetings, and we're able to follow the social distancing guidelines. And so, it is possible to do it. I guarantee productivity is way down, but at the end of the day, we're still keeping our labor force out there. And so all in all, what started as a really hectic week and crazy and a lot of kind of scary prognostications and not really knowing, really seems like as we're settling in here and that really starting to hear a lot of good news across the board, and especially, great job for you guys, really actually getting the language to specifically call out pool construction and everything. That's awesome. I commend you guys for being able to work that out.
Yeah, and that obviously gives our the folks around here some confidence. The state of Pennsylvania is still lagging behind, and PHTA and us and other groups are really actively engaged, pushing, and having that support from other states only helps us further that effort in Pennsylvania, which isn't 100% open yet, but we're working to that end. And this has been a challenging week for every single pool company I've spoken to. Our phones and emails have been coming in at a clip that we've never really seen. looking for our association, but all the other associations are doing the same thing, trying to give guidance. But it's led to a lot of really interesting conversations about the industry. You know, I don't want to diminish the importance or the impact of what has happened, but I have talked to a lot of business owners who have said, you know, we're forcing ourselves to think outside the box. We're forcing ourselves to think about how we handle our operations. We're not saying we're going to change everything we do, but we're asking hard questions of our business structure. And I think smart business owners, while they're worried, and rightfully so, and, you know, we'll see where the economy comes around, and there's a lot of factors that still need resolution. They're looking at this opportunity to sort of challenge themselves to innovate.
Yeah, that's really, I would mirror that here internally, you know, really looking at policies and everything. And it's just given me a step. Like I cherish my guys, you know, I mean, I don't exist without my guys, and here internally, it's really kind of given me pause a little bit. I think that's a great terminology that, you know, hey, I need to think about more than just how productive they are and that. And so it's been great in that respect as well. So anything that you see coming up? Do you see more good news coming up? Where do you see Pennsylvania moving in a direction that's positive, or what you know? Like we always say, give me a 48-hour look ahead. What are you thinking?
It's tough to say what's going to happen in 48 hours. What I can say around Pennsylvania is that everybody that has resources to push has pushed them there, right? So PHTA's government affairs team, in the folks with the NESPA, I'm speaking to other construction organizations that have nothing to do with pools, but have the similar interest here as far as what they're doing to lobby Harrisburg and try and put some pressure on the governor's office there to realize that, you know, construction can work safely in this environment. So I can't tell you, I don't expect 24, 48 hours. It's tough to say, but you know, people should know that the industry that supports them is working for that change, you know, as we speak.
Dom, I think some good news that did come out of your area today is, you know, the financial markets are really on what the largest 3-day high since the Great Depression, and that's important for our businesses and for us to know that we need to keep our workers engaged, because I think workers this year, we want to start training right now. You've got pools opening up sooner, and we're going to have a lot of people that remember this, and they're going to want to stay home. They're not going to travel abroad, and that is a positive for the pool industry. So this market uptick right now, even though we're still, you know, everybody needs to, you know, follow the CDC stuff, the financial markets coming back is, I hope that we keep moving the market back up and we can fund a lot of new pools in 2020.
I mean, I am not a financial expert, but certainly talking to folks who are and reading enough analysis, it doesn't seem like there's some big structural problem that led to this. Is, you know, fear trading over the current situation. New York is the most affected state, right? They have the most cases by far. I think they're threefold to California at this point. So it's not peculiar to see, you know, the stock exchange located in New York having sort of a heightened panic reaction. And I hope you're absolutely right, Randy. I hope this trend that we've been on for the last couple of days, I think it's the first 2 or 3 day gain since February. So in a row. So that's a very positive sign.
Wow. Fantastic. Well, he is Dominic Mondi. He does represent the NESPA area of the U.S., and your leadership along with PHTA and cooperation is what's keeping, you know, our industry going and looking to the future. So we look forward to checking back with you in a couple more days. And as the stimulus packages come down and companies start to look at different things, well, I think we're going to get some interpretations. So thanks so much, Dom. Appreciate it.
Thank you both.